kind of the spaces that we inhabit, that we move through, that we exist in is really interesting to me in general. So creating installations that play off of the sort of quirks and the specifics of the actual space it's in, I think speaks to that, and speaks to the relationship of like how the art installed in a space changes that space and changes how people interact with it. The cat is something. This is a white room, but it has all these funny little details that make building something in here really interesting, and things you can do to play off that, like the slant in the roof, the wooden beam going across, you know, these nice old floors, the sort of ledge here. All these things are kind of just little differences in this room that makes it specifically this room. I mean, it just makes sense to me to like plan your artwork to reflect those things and to have a relationship with it, because it has a relationship with it whether you take it into account or not. So if you acknowledge that, then you're acknowledging the space that the art exists in, which is the real world and the real person who encounters that artwork. It's kind of a stretch, but if you think about light as a material, as a reflection of our material world, then it sort of fits into that kind of category of things and objects. So incorporating lights into my sculptures changes not only the physical color of the objects around it, but it changes the way that the light reflects off of the space. Sort of a driving factor in a lot of the work I make is the relationship between material objects and images, two-dimensional pictures. And I think that that relationship to a lot of people can feel very dichotomous. There's the real world objects, and then there's the image of those real world objects. But I'm really interested in the sort of space between those two things, where one slips into the other and how the two influence each other and inform each other. When you look at, you know, material like a piece of wood has shape, it has form, it has color, it has wood grain, it has texture. Those are all like qualities of the real world, I guess, material things. And if you think about an image as like visual elements coming together to form a picture or something that you see, right? It's not necessarily pictorial, but it's forming an image of sorts. Then you can start to move between those two fields a lot more fluidly. When you nail a piece of wood to a wall, it sort of becomes more visual. It's still a real object that's still there that you can touch, but it sort of sinks into that field of the pictorial a bit more than if it was just, if you came across it lying on the street or something like that. When you bring the paintings into it, painting is also an arrangement of physical material on a two-dimensional surface. So by shaping the canvases, incorporating them into sculptures with the addition of these materials like wood and tarps and plastic and lights and stuff, I guess I'm thinking about that relationship and how that relationship changes and gets blurred and how things in this world slip from material to pictorial and back again.